You know, Loren, there's nothing like being behind the scenes, like in the green room, which is where all the magic takes place, by the way. And I love what you're doing. I love your bio, by the way. Very extensive. Although you sent me a short version of it, I'm not going to read it. It's just you and I. We're having a conversation. So do me a favor, if you will. Take a couple of minutes and tell me a little bit about who is Loren and what are you up to these days?
Well, right out of the gate, let me just go ahead and clear up my accent, is that I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and I moved when I was 7 to Miami Beach, Florida, grew up there. And then in 1997, we moved to Oregon, raised our kids there, and now we live in Southern California. Anyway, I've hit probably all 4 corners of the U.S., and we are good to go. Let me just put that out there. My background is sports psychologist turned business coach. As I was working with high achieving athletes, absolutely loved dealing with the mental game part. Thought that I would be working with athletes for the rest of my career. However, the path that I was on, all I can say is the universe had a different plan for me. And things changed, moved in the direction of business coaching. Brought in all the mindset pieces to that with my clients. And now I focus on helping them double their income working half the time. I absolutely love the money part of it.
Yeah, I love the money part of it. You know, then we're going to have the right type of conversation at the right time for the right folks who are ready to take their business to the right place. This is going to be totally amazing. For those folks that are tuning in and they're wondering, you know, what's the conversation going to be like that we're going to have during this episode, because you're talking about being paid for what you're worth and more. So take a moment, if you would, and kind of frame the conversation that we're going to be diving into on this particular episode.
Okay, for those of you that are here behind the scenes with me, first of all, thanks for showing up. There's something that happens for the people that show up, and want to just acknowledge you for being action takers. The bottom line is that when you went to school, whether it was high school, college, graduate school, your education prepared you to work for somebody else. It prepared you to be an employee instead of an entrepreneur. Because of that, there's certain things that you just don't know how to do. You have a great skill set for what you do, but there's certain things about the business side of things you don't really get too familiar. My focus was on figuring out how to be able to manage my skill set with the business part of it, which meant focusing on how to network, because I didn't know how to do that, especially being more of an introvert than an extrovert, being able to have sales conversations when I don't like the sales part, and then how to price my services, because I never wanted to trade my time for money. I feel that that's like renting out your soul.
Wow. Well, one of the things I admire about you, by the way, is things change on you. She's like, you know what, Shay, I've got the right mindset. I'm able to adjust. I wonder what her mindset is when things just happen like real time, like we're in real time, and she just kept on rocking and rolling. Let me ask the question. We're behind the scenes. Y'all get to hear real time. You saw her camera switched on her, by the way. She kept talking, kept moving. These are uncharted times, and things are happening like this real time in the world. How do you adjust your mindset? I know it has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about. When something takes place that kind of throws you a little for a loop, how do you regain your balance and get your focus back? And we just watched you do that, which was like totally amazing. I was like, okay. And you just kept on talking.
Trey, this is part of what I got from being a sports psychologist, is that there's a difference between the top 1% of the most successful people, whether it's entrepreneurs, athletes, whatever that might be, and everybody else. When you are in a situation where something doesn't go as planned, the top 1%, they keep on moving forward and they just go ahead and make adjustments or adapt to it. The majority of people, they go ahead and they stop, they think about it. It's like running into a brick wall. When you run into a brick wall, and we all will at some point in our profession and our lives, you're going to have one of three is bam, you hit that brick wall, you stop doing this. It's too hard. I'm getting a sign. I'm going to go back to were variable then, but it's what I know. It's then.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. And their response is, let me go back and do research. And once I know all the steps, because I don't like risk or surprise,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start.
Okay, I think your audio went out for just a second, so we're going to just double check the audio, and we can come back and double check. Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Okay, we can hear you now.
You go in and
yeah, you froze up for just about a minute there, but you're back.
Okay, well, on my camera, frozen.
Yeah, the last thing we heard was
that person.
Go ahead, you're good.
Okay, with that third person that will, like everybody else, and they are looking then to have starts and stops. And those people are the implementers. So we're all going to be in the same situation at some point. You can either be a retreater, you can be a marinator, or you can be an implementer. If you're not satisfied with where you're at, you can always go ahead and change it and adjust.
Change it and adjust. I love it. With that being said, when we come back, we're going to talk about how to be paid what you're worth, how to price your product right, and how to have them give you the service and the value so that you can not only have the income, but you can also make the impact. We'll be back in just a second with none other than Loren Fogelman. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Loren Fogelman. We come back. We back in just a second. We're going to kick off in a few minutes. I see you out there, Tony Rodriguez, Joy Bing, Stephen Consistent. Thanks for joining. Mario Reynolds, Buke Cruz, Yuri Child. We'll be back in just a minute. You don't want to miss it. It's time to get the show off in 5, 4, 3, 2. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never give up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. Yeah.
Thank you. God bless. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you the entrepreneur, you the influencer, you the infopreneur, you the game changer, you the world changer, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I want you to imagine for a moment that I believe you have 3 visions for yourself. What's up, Lene Smith? 3 visions. I believe first you have a vision for yourself. The clothes that you want to wear, the organic food that you can't wait to go buy from the grocery store, by the way, the car you want to drive. You also have a vision for your loved ones, the ones you care the most about, the ones you want to send to a school of your choice, the ones that you want to take care of. I have Mother Dear, and I love Mother Dear, and I have the blessing of being able to go to her home. And when I arrive, I'm able to share with her and bring groceries and leave them at the door because we can't go inside right now. Who do you want to write a check for their healthcare insurance or their mortgage? Who do you want to take care of? That's the second vision you have. And it takes resources, which means it takes revenue. And then I believe you have a third vision. You have a third vision, and you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you're Noah. Noah's in the Bible. I have to be a believer. You don't have to be a believer. But imagine you're Noah. And you got this vision, and God has given you all of the experience. He's given you all of the expertise, and you got everything you need to be successful. And then you show up, and then once you show up, what's the first thing that happens that once you show up? Once you show up there, here's what takes place right away. Here's what takes place right away. You show up, and the minute that you show up, you get a report. Noah was sorry to report, but there's no hammers in the house. No hammers? How do I execute this vision? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Noah, we want to report to you that there is no nails. No nails, no hammer, no need to panic. Life's going to be just fine. And then they come back to you and say, Noah, one last time, Noah, before you take off, you might want to know this. This is very important. There's no wood and there's no team to put the boat together. Good luck, Noah, on your mission. What does Noah do? I don't have any resources. That might be you in your business right now. You've got the vision, you got the purpose, you got the passion, but there's no resource because there's no revenue. Well, Loren came to give you the resources necessary to double your income, work half the time, and make sure your prices are in line with you. I want to know how. Let's say hello to Loren. What's going on, Loren? How are you?
Hey, Che, thanks so much for having me here. Happy entrepreneur people that are just joining us today. So excited and appreciative for you really joining in on the conversation.
Thank you. Well, you are simply amazing. I had a chance to meet you not only here through the power of these fiber optic lines, but in person. But I've got to jump into it, man. We got to hear about your background and how you decided to empower entrepreneurs so they could double. I mean, check this out, y'all. Double. So whatever your income is, just whatever your income was in your bank account, you're going to double that. And you're going to work half the time. Someone hear me now. Double your income, work half the time. Let's hear about a background. Talk to us, Loren.
The first thing that I want to say, and I alluded it to a little bit in the green room, is that school got it wrong. School gave me the skill set to do what I do very, very well. However, one of the things that I found in my research as well as my own experience is that the majority of entrepreneurs, they actually start out undercharging. I did that too because I started out working as an employee for somebody else as opposed to being self-employed. With that, my employer charged me by the hour. At some point, I got a salary. But when I went into business for myself, I kept with that same pricing strategy, and it just didn't resonate for me because as I got smarter and gained expertise, I got faster, which meant that I was making less money for work that I was actually more efficient and effective with. And because of that, it really put me on this path to help entrepreneurs who charge by the hour, the session, or the project with their pricing strategies, because 86% of entrepreneurs make less than $100,000 a year, and there is a whopping 30% or more of small business owners, Shay, that don't even take a salary, which really just breaks my heart, and I am on a mission to change that.
I'm glad you're on that mission. I'm glad I'm sitting in the front row. I can't wait. For those folks that are watching right now, this is your time. This is your moment. She talked about entrepreneurs, but I want to make sure she does a distinction here. So I'm curious, what's the biggest pricing mistake? The biggest pricing mistake that even seasoned entrepreneurs make? Because you work with some seasoned individuals as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. the majority of my clients already have a business. They already have been doing this for a while, and they are at capacity where they can't earn more because they just don't have any more hours left to give. They've made enough sacrifice.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with them is that, first of all, they're slow to make change, and they continue pricing by the hour as opposed to separating their fees from time, which means that in order to make more, they have to give up other parts of their life that are so important to them if they want to earn more money, and it doesn't have to be that way.
I see the world through this sales lens, right? That's how I see the world. So I always like to serve first and then sell second. But what's your pricing strategy? What's your pricing approach? What's your philosophy so you can emphasize that we as entrepreneurs, and I'm with all of you, like we're one big happy family here, to emphasize to make sure we're getting paid what we are worth and we're establishing value.
If anybody is here listening, really tuning into this, this is where you want to grab your pen and paper and take some notes. I'm going to give you 5 steps that really help you to start to emphasize your value as opposed to selling your time, because when clients invest in you, your highest value is not what you do, it's what you know. I'm going to just say that one more time. It's not what you do, it's what you know. And similar to Shay, when you do sales, it's really about a potential client recognizing the value. Therefore, step number 1 is understanding who is that ideal client that you have, because it's not everybody that breathes or has skin. You have some people that you work better with or get a better result with than others. Start to become aware of who your ideal client is. As you do that, what you want to think about is what are the benefits that they get from working with you. There's primary benefits, which are the obvious things. It's that maybe you help them improve cash flow in some way. Maybe you go ahead and you fix a problem for them, or that you solve something obvious for them. Think about what is that primary benefit that they get from you. There's now a secondary benefit. The secondary benefits are what is now possible for that particular business owner or client to be able to do because they had you help them and you were able to either help them achieve a result or fix a problem. It might be that because of the primary thing that you did, now they're able to possibly expand their staff. Or it could be that they are finally able to take a much needed vacation, possibly give themselves a raise. But think about what is that secondary benefit. And the third one is what is the hidden cost of not investing in you? It could be that if they didn't invest in you, they would continue to have money leaks in their business, or they would continue to have high turnover because it wasn't the right culture fit for the people you were hiring. So that's the very first part, is understanding your ideal client. And then after that, number 2 is thinking about your services. You want to consider packaging your services, bundling different things you do together in order to have that bundle achieve an outcome or a specific benefit for your clients. When I teach my clients how to bundle their services, it's similar to what you see on a lot of SaaS companies that are selling software, where they have a good, better, and best option. They are usually giving you 3 package options. Well, entrepreneurs ought to be doing that too. You want to be giving them options on how to work with you, because when someone is looking at working with you, they're making a decision. They're making either a yes or no decision. And when you just give them one way to work with you, it's either they're going to make a decision of, yes, I want to work with you, or no, I want to work with somebody else or do something else. When you give them 3 choices or of options of how to work with you, now the decision they're making is, how do I want to work with you, as opposed to if I want to work with you. Those 3 packages would be a silver package, which is for the most price-sensitive clients. The gold package is the one that's the most popular, that the majority of the clients are going to want, need, and choose. And then the diamond one is for those VIP clients that really like all the extra special attention. It's similar to when you're flying. You have some people fly first class, others fly business, and then people fly coach. Now, it's the same plane, but it's a different experience whether you're in first class, business, or coach. And that's true for a silver, gold, and diamond package that you might offer your clients. Okay, the next step is, now that you have your packages and you know who your ideal client is.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
This is your favorite part, Shay. You want to have that sales conversation. But the majority of people I know don't like the sales part. They don't want to be salesy. And therefore, I teach how to have a value conversation instead of a sales conversation. What you do is you ask great questions. You actually do what I call the 70-30 rule, which is you want your potential client talking 70% of the time during this initial consult, and you're only talking 30%. You might wonder, how do I do that? Well, the way to do that is by ask great questions. And by there, you're getting a lot of information. By your questions, a potential client can see the value of what you have to offer because of the quality of the questions you're asking. Okay, so now we move into the last step. And this is the ask. This is where, if you have done the value conversation right, and you presented your packages, and they see the value, you have to ask for them to take that next step of engaging with you. This is where so many sales conversations fall apart, is with the ask. What happens, though, is because you ask these great questions during the value part of the conversation, this part now is where they ask you how it works instead of you having to pitch or sell them. And I just want to say that once again, if you have a value conversation where it's very genuine, you're asking great questions, they see the value of what you have to offer from the questions you ask, they will naturally ask you, how does this work? And then you can genuinely move into the value part of the conversation where you invite them to take that next step of engaging with you without it feeling salesy or out of integrity. You don't ever have to sell or pitch them. You extend an invitation, and I'm just going to say an advanced move is that if you got a hit from the conversation that this wasn't an ideal client or someone that you want to work with, maybe there was this gut feeling, first of all, go with it. And if it's someone you don't want to work with, you don't have to make an offer. All you have to do is bless them and let them move on.
I like that. Bless them and let them move on. I'm loving it. You know, I'm curious as I'm listening right now, and hopefully you guys are all listening with new ears and watching with new eyes as she's speaking here. Very golden nuggets. I like to hear the four things that people really value, and they will happily pay for it. Now, for those folks that are tuning in, like Donna Hicks. What's up, Donna Izzard? Thanks for joining. Lene Smith, Yuri Chow, Alicia Little. What's up? You bring out the all-stars, by the way. I'm telling you, by the way. Loren, you're just bringing out the all-stars. They're like, wait a minute. What in the LL Cool J are they going to be talking about tonight? Because this is a money conversation. Sometimes we have a conversation to uplift you and to inspire you. And other times we have a conversation just to line your pocket full of some green stuff, by the way, so you can do some more good in the world and have more meaning. So my question, Loren, let me get back to my question. I like to hear the four things that people they really value and they'll happily pay for.
And before you do that, I just want to highlight something you said. Sure. Is that if you have more money, you can do more good in the world, because so many people take a scarcity view on money, especially when it's earning money in your own business, and they feel that it's greedy, that it's not spiritual. And I just want to reinforce what you said. If you have more money, you can actually do more good in the world, and really just let that resonate and vibrate with you. It's a very, very powerful insight. And now let me go ahead and share the four things that clients value and happily pay for. The very first one is that people want things easy. And I'm going to go through these quickly, and then I'm going to give you examples. Number 2 is that they want to be quick, wanted to save money for them in some way. And number 4 is they want to figure out how it's going to help them make money. Okay, so easy, quick, save money, and make money. Let me give you an example. If you do business to business, I'm going to use the example of a bookkeeper. How is it easy? Well, it's easy because all I have to do is give you access to my QuickBooks Online, my bank accounts, maybe my credit cards, and have you only. And then all you need to do is do the work, and you can get me my financials and know that everything's in order. So that is how it's easy. I just give you access and you do the work. How is it quick? Well, I know that if I did my own books at the end of every month, it might take me an entire day on a Saturday or Sunday away from my family, away from other things that matter to me, to be able to do it, because I don't do it all day long. This isn't my expertise, and I struggle at some of it. But when I have you do it, you can do in 1 hour what might take me all day long. How does it save me money? It saves me money because there might be things in my books that you see from transactions or how I spend money where maybe there's unused subscriptions that I have, or there's redundancies where I'm paying for similar types of services more than once, or possibly a money leak because there's outstanding collections and billing needs to be done. So you are helping me to save money in some ways by going into my books and giving me some insights based upon what you see. How do you help me make money? As my bookkeeper, you're able to help me forecast, be able to project for things to do in my future. You're able to help me understand where my greatest profitability is in the different services that I offer. Or you're able to help me really save and budget for an investment I want to make that will help advance my business in some way. Okay, that is for B2B on how it's easy, quick, save money, and make money. Now, I know that some of you might be in the health and wellness side of it. Let me give you an example on a softer service looking at a massage therapist. Mm-hmm. How is it easy? Well, if I have back pain, I show up, and all I have to do is lay on the table and you do the work. It doesn't get any easier than that. How is it quick? Because you've studied physiology. You know that when I have back pain, there might be a way to release one of my muscles, or that it might be connected to something further down in my leg or in my shoulders. And you know how to be able to tell where the tightness is and what to release in order to give me some relief. Whereas if I tried figuring it out myself, I don't know the physiology part, and it would take me a long time to really get that same relief, sometimes days before I feel better. How does it save me money? I don't need to try all of these other things to get relief or try going to other practitioners, because I know that I can go to you, I show up, I'm on the table for an hour, and I immediately feel better, able to get on with my day, as opposed to trying all these other things and spending a lot of money, but maybe not getting the same fast relief. And then how do you help me make money? Because when I am feeling off, I'm not as engaged with my clients or with referral partners. I'm not as productive when I'm working. I might not be as clear-headed. My focus might be off. And because of that, it really affects the way I show up with business. But when I'm feeling better, I'm engaged, I'm more productive, I get so much more done. That is how it's easy, quick, saves money, and makes money. Those are the 4 things clients happily value and will go ahead and pay you really well for.
Wow, I love it. And I love the examples that you gave. And at the end of the day, one of the things that Loren is doing, this is a money conversation, right? One of the things she's doing, she's showing you step by step, jot this down in your notes, how to let your profits fund your passion. And this is very important, because now you can be paid exactly what you're worth. You know, take a moment, if you will, and talk about how you, I'll say, coach your clients when they're ready to have a value, price, their service, when they're ready to value price their service? So how do you coach them when you're in that conversation? Can you peel back the big black curtain, if you would, and let us peek into your chest of secrets down there?
Happy to freely share the very first chest of secrets. Where did you come up with that?
Hey, we're hanging out. It's like happy hour, you know?
Yeah. No. I feel like I have the money map for the scavenger hunt. So there you go.
Well, I love these money conversations because sometimes we're motivating. Sometimes we're inspiring. But if they want to have more meaning, they need more money. If they want to have more impact, they need more income. And if they want to make a difference, they do need to have some dollars. So your conversation is very relevant. It's timely. And I couldn't think of a better time to have it than right now. So go ahead and share.
Thank you. And the very first thing is, before you can expect someone else to see the value of what you have to offer, you have to connect with your own value first. Because of that, people sometimes postpone raising their rates because it is one of the most uncomfortable things that entrepreneurs do and businesses do, no matter what size the business is. But if you are absolutely ready, you've connected with your value, you're ready to raise your rates, you are going to make a bigger impact and difference in the world, then this part is absolutely for you. The very first thing to do when you're looking to implement your new prices is recognize that it's a mindset thing. You want to be able to do it in a way that feels genuine and authentic for you. You don't need permission from anybody else to charge more. You don't need more letters behind your name or credentials. You are more than enough. Because of that, you want to once again connect with your value, and you want to start to separate your fees from time and costs, because your highest value is what you know, not what you do. Your clients are not looking to do what I call rent your soul, which is when you charge by the hour. After you are really connected with that mindset, and you might not have the confidence, but you have the courage to do it even though it's uncomfortable. Then once you make that commitment, you start to communicate it. You communicate it with clients that are coming to you new, as well as to clients that you're already working with. I'm going to focus on clients that you're already working with. This is how you communicate it. You first send them an email or a snail mail letter, whichever way you tend to connect with them, letting them know that you're making some changes in your business model. In that letter, you want to let them know the benefits of the changes. You're doing some things to be able to give them a higher level of service, more access to you, to be able to help them with budgeting, to be able to focus on the outcomes as opposed to the features or the tactical steps of what you do. After you communicate it in a letter or email, then the next step is to schedule a conversation. Think about, how do you meet with your clients? Do you do it by Zoom, phone, or typically in person? Either way, no way is right or wrong. Go ahead and schedule a meeting with them. When you schedule the meeting, you want to have what I call a value conversation. I went into those steps a little bit earlier. If you didn't catch them all, you can get it on the replay later on, because Jay's going to have it available for you. But you want to have a value conversation where you focus on their needs. These are some of the things you want to find out during the value conversation. What is it they want to achieve? What are the metrics, or what's called the KPIs, the key performance indicators, to be able to determine if you actually help them achieve those results? What is achieving that result worth to them? Why does it matter? And also, you want to be able to maybe bring to the conversation some questions, because it might be from your experience, you know that there's some things that they're overlooking, and ask them some questions that give them the insights that, oh my gosh, I never thought about that. And that has value right then and there. During that conversation, you want to then ask them how they would like to move forward with you, which is talking about your 3 packages: the silver, the gold, and the diamond, which we talked about earlier. You see how we're starting to bring it all together?
Yeah.
And that this is really how to create a value-based business, where you're focusing on your personal value, having a value conversation, and doing value pricing to separate your fees from time. Now, what you want to recognize is that when you start to talk about the ways to work together, you're offering your options. So now it's about how to work with you as opposed to if to work with you. And you want to come from being a trusted advisor. When you're a trusted advisor, you focus on what's in their best interest, helping them to make the best decision in their best interest instead of what's in your best interest. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that happen in a sales conversation is when it comes to the close, all of a sudden your energy switches and you have a disconnect because you're thinking about money coming into your business. That's not going to help your clients. That's focusing on you, and it creates a disconnect. You want to really stay in that place of connection and service, focusing on what's in your client's best interest, even during the close part, and that's what happens when you come from being a trusted advisor. The next thing is get ready for some objections. Too often, someone gets an objection and they think it's the end of the conversation. That's just the beginning of the most important part of the conversation because they're now on this threshold of moving forward with you and getting that solution that they want or taking a step back and remaining in their problem. You want to be ready for those objections in order to remain present as a trusted advisor and help them to see the value of moving forward with you if it's a good fit. And because you're ready for that, you're going to confidently respond to those objections, staying present, staying connected, and doing what's in the highest level of your client, coming from a place of service. So those are the different steps, and I'll just go through them really quickly. It's mindset, communicate a change, schedule a conversation, have that value conversation, and come from the place of being a trusted advisor.
Man, I love it. You laid out the case so beautifully. For those folks that are out there right now, hit the share button, hit the watch party button. And as you do that, you can write these words. It's time to be paid what you're worth by adding value. Hashtag Loren Fogelman. Just put, it's time to be paid what you're worth and add value. That's the key part. You add in the value so they see the value. Put hashtag Loren Fogelman. She's laying the case. She's made it so plain. You know, Loren, as I'm listening to you and you're speaking right now, let me just share a mantra we have here as we're talking about money. And one of our core values here at the Happy Entrepreneur Network is something called Today is my January 1st. And today is my January 1st. For all the folks that know what it is, by the way, you already know. You can look below the video and you can write, today is my January 1st. Value, I'm going to get what I'm worth. But for those folks that are wondering, Shay, I'm hearing this for the first time. I don't even know what it is. Today is my January 1st represents one of those moments through time where you can make a decision. And that decision could forever shift the trajectory of your life, right? So it's either you go to the gym and you work out. Right now, you got to work out at home. Or you sit on the couch and you watch Netflix, right? Just binge watch all day. Or you eat hamburgers and French fries with a little ketchup, salt, and pepper, I'm sure. Or you go to your refrigerator, you open it up, and you look inside. There's some spinach. You have some of that. There's some broccoli. You have some of that. There's even some Brussels sprouts. That even sounds good. That's a January 1st moment. It's a do-over. It's a fresh start. It's your past doesn't equal your future. You determine when that takes place. But my question to Loren as she's listening is when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. What do you hear? What does it mean to you?
It means that my ability to connect and share in a meaningful way is the most important thing I can do. Therefore, the more polished I am as a speaker, the better I get to deliver. As a result of that, I showed up at my Toastmasters meeting today, virtually on Zoom, and I was the speaker. The thing that I focused on, because I recognize how important it is, and it's not my strongest skill set, is being able to tell a story and to have the gestures that go with it. Because of that, I decided that today I was going to focus on story showing, not just storytelling.
Story showing, not storytelling. I love that. That is spot on. You know, talk about today is your January 1st. What was your January 1st moment? And you probably had many throughout your life where you decided that you were going to plant your flag, draw a line in the sand, and you were going to be an entrepreneur. That this is what you were going to do. You were going to go out there and teach other folks exactly what you're teaching now. When did you know that was it? And what was that defining moment like for you?
Well, first of all, I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. Therefore, I don't think I had a choice but to go in that direction. What I would say is what put me on this path with pricing is that my husband, Steve, and I, we've been working side by side since 1981, quite a while now. And we still love each other. With that being said, we had a counseling agency together where we had up to 11 employees. I was the biggest income producer. After 12 years of doing that with Steve, I started to experience burnout because I was trading dollars for hours, where I was working late into the evening seeing clients. I was working on weekends doing the compliance paperwork for our certifications and insurance billing. I realized that not only was it taking a toll on me, it was also taking a toll on Steve as well as our kids, because I wasn't always available for the ball games. I wasn't always home for dinner. It was a sacrifice for all of us. That's when I started to look for my best next move. And I believe that my best next move found me. I didn't find it because I didn't realize that coaching existed outside of sports. But once I found the business coaching, what I realized is that it was the best of therapy, where I got to focus on people's potential instead of just digging into their problems, which never really resonated with me anyway. And over the course of 18 months, I made a transition from our counseling agency into the business coaching piece. And I will say it has been a journey. I've grown so much because of it. I never looked back. And once again, Steve and I continue to work together, but now it's in this business, in this capacity, as opposed to one that we all sacrificed.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being authentic. And, you know, as you work with athletes and you are now working with entrepreneurs and you work with everyday folks, just really cool human beings, you may have heard this phrase before that consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do people struggle with most? I have my hand raised. Consistency, right? And so my question is folks are getting excited and they're writing, today is my January 1st. They're all geared up like they were back on December 31st after a couple of drinks, right? On the back of a napkin, they started writing down these New Year's resolutions. And we know how that program ended, right? I don't know if you noticed, but January 17th is National Ditch Your Resolutions Day. You can Google it. It's like a national day. So my question to you is, what do you share with your clients in order for them to be consistent? In order for them to hashtag stay the course?
Well, I tell them not to set goals. Let's start with that, because I believe that goal setting doesn't really work, especially SMART goals. SMART goals were developed for people in corporate because in the 70s, corporate wasn't making that much money. People were just showing up to their jobs, but they weren't really engaged, and they figured that if they were able to have their employees create stretch goals of just 3%, they would bring in more revenue and it would make shareholders happy. However, SMART goals are based on external factors, not internal ones, because that I want my clients to connect with their vision, which is similar to what I did with sports psychology and high achieving athletes. It is about that vision. It is about the fact that when Martin Luther King had his speech, he didn't say, I have a goal. He said, I have a dream. And I have a dream motivated and unified an entire nation when we really needed to be able to work together because there was so much hate and division. And with that being said, when you connect with that vision, when you connect with your I have a dream inspiration, you're going to go ahead and continue moving forward even when it's difficult.
Very, very powerful. You're saying a lot in a short amount of time, and you're packing it all in. My question is for folks that are listening, says, wow, Shay, this is really cool, but I want to stay in this conversation like over and beyond the day. How can I best connect with Loren? What do you recommend, Loren? What's a good first step for those folks that are watching live now? And even those folks that go back and watch the replay, and those folks that are listening to the podcast right now. She's going to do something for you. If it's still available, go get it. It applies to you. Or if you're on Apple TV right now on a Roku, you're like, well, I'm just tuning in, Shay. I didn't know this even going on. No worries. If the site's available, then it works for you. So, Loren, I'll turn over you to kind of frame the conversation, if you would, so they kind of understand what's taking place.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that I put together for your specific audience, Shay, and knowing who they are with that in mind, is we're all busy people. Mm-hmm. Because of that, I knew that I was going to be talking about some things that might be a new concept for your audience, which is really the value conversation, connecting with your value, pricing for value. I put together a word-for-word script for your audience on how to have a value conversation with a potential client or a client who you're thinking about raising your rates with. How to be able to ask those questions which highlight the value of what you have to offer without doing all the talking. And if you want that done for you, raise your rate script, all you need to do is go to businesssuccesssolution.com/value, grab it, and all you need to do is plug and play a little bit, but it is good for you because I know that you're busy.
What's the website once again?
businesssuccesssolution.com/value.
Okay, so everyone, let's go over to businesssuccesssolution.com/value. Let's see if the site works. Sometime, no offense, these sites don't work. Yeah, technology happens. Even like tonight, things happen. So let's go over and let's all make sure it works. Okay, so they're now over on your site. I have verified that the site works, and all they got to do is put their information. Is that right? They just click the button?
That's it, and they get it.
This is good. Also, so it works. This is great, everyone.
Yeah.
I can see this works. And I don't see a place for a credit card, so there's no credit card need here.
This is freely given.
Freely given. Quick question for you: as you're giving away the free value that you're doing now, which is totally amazing, I'm curious, why do you still do this? You don't have to do these type of programs. You don't have to be here. You didn't ask for a Cash App payment before we got started. You didn't ask for a Zelle payment. There was no credit card. You said, Shay, I'm there to serve. Folks might be wondering, why does Loren Fogelman still do this?
I have two parts to the answer.
Sure.
The very first part is that I believe my purpose is based upon a Hebrew word called tikkun olam, TIKKUNOLAM, and it literally means repairing the world. I feel that if I can give this information, inspire someone to connect with their value, then that serves my purpose of tikkun olam and helping to be part of repairing the world. The other part, which is connected to it, is I absolutely believe, Shay, that entrepreneurs are the backbone to our economy. When they do well, they give back generously to their local community, their clients, globally. We give back time, money, and effort in so many different ways. When we do well and we're moving up the ladder, we take other people up the ladder with us. I just see it as this wave of positivity and really the spreading of good. And that's why I continue to do this.
Wow. Well, certainly we appreciate what you do. As we go into a rapid fire segment, I'm always curious if I can ask a couple quick questions. I know in the time that we have, and I appreciate so much of your time, by the way. Of all the mentors you've had so many mentors along this journey of life, what's one lesson you've learned from a mentor that you could pass along to us that we could benefit from at any part in your life or career?
Mm-hmm. My very first one, what she taught me is how you do anything is how you do everything. And I'll say once again, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you are overthinking things, if you're being mean to yourself, if you are allowing people to take advantage of you because saying no is uncomfortable, then you're going ahead and you're undervaluing yourself personally, spiritually, and professionally. On the other hand, if you connect with your value, you have great boundaries, you are looking to make a greater impact and influence, then you're doing that in other parts of your life also, showing people what's possible. Therefore, how you do anything is how you do everything.
I love it, man. I love it. That is so fantastic. Well, once again, tell folks how they can connect with you. Tell them where to get the free gift. Give them the website. And then tell them what the value add, not free, the value add gift is. See, I'm changing my language even as we are speaking. I'm always in the front row, and I am learning. So you have value you're sharing. So how can they get their value gift?
Well, if they want the Raise Your Rate script, which is done for you, you just need to plug in some things so it's yours as opposed to mine, but it's done all for you. Then you go to businesssuccesssolution.com/value. Put your name and email address, and it is immediately delivered. Plus, if you wanted to have a conversation with me on how to be able to implement this into your business because you see the value of what I have to offer, you connect with it, and you know it's your time, there's an opportunity for you to have a strategy session with me also to see how I might be able to help you further.
Man, I love it. Thanks again. I want you to know, number one, we appreciate you so much. You have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. You added so much value throughout this conversation. So let me say thank you, if I can, on behalf of the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate you. Got to have you back. We've got to extend this conversation and go a little bit deeper, but you went so deep today. So thank you so much. I want to turn it over to you to have your final thoughts. Is these fiber optic lines, they're going to go away. The lights will no longer be here. And folks got to go now. They got to execute. They got to go do what you said. They've got to go take action and follow the advice and the blueprint that you laid out to us. So once again, thank you. I turn over to you for your final thoughts.
My final thoughts are that it's about showing up. Mm-hmm. Shay, you have a show that's relatively late at night, and you show up to the game. I showed up to the game. And everybody that's connected with us here right now showed up to the game also because they recognize the value of what you bring to the table and how you're coming from a place of good and really wanting to make a difference for the people that are in your audience. And the Happy Entrepreneur serves a much bigger purpose than you and I can ever know. I know for a fact that you're changing lives.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. For everyone that's out there right now, thank you so much for watching. I want you to know that you are amazing. Today is your January 1st. You can be paid exactly what you're worth. Today is your January 1st. The world now will understand the value that you deliver. And today is your January 1st. Why? Because the best is yet to come. The best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, for those folks who want to know who's doing all that screaming, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life is short. Live in the moment and make it count. God bless. Peace. Thanks a lot, Loren. You're really amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're out of here. I love it. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind.
Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there. And they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.